As of the time that I'm filming this video right now, Bitcoin sits at about $64,000, and we are so close to the all-time high for this coin. Now, what we're going to talk about in this video is Cleanspark, and I wanted to show exactly how many shares I own and what it is so important as a stock market investor in holding the companies that you believe in. Let's go ahead and jump over to my Fidelity portfolio. Looking at my Fidelity investments, okay, if we look here at the 5 companies that I own, which is Chewy, Corsair Gaming, iRobot, Tattooed Chef, and then Cleanspark, you see the performance of all these. We're down 7% on Chewy, we're down 6% or so on Corsair Gaming, 5% we're up on iRobot, down 12% on Tattooed Chef, and then so far, we only have one big winner since switching over to Fidelity 2 months ago, switching over our portfolio to this brokerage. Only one really stands out so far as the big winner, and that is Cleanspark, looking at 26% gains as of the close today on October 19th, 2021. Now, if we jump over to the performance tab here real quick, and we look at my performance, I compare my performance to the S&P and the other indexes month over month. And at the end of September, you can see that we had horrible returns. We had great returns in August, horrible returns in September. And at the end of September, if we go ahead and jump over to Cleanspark stock on Webull right here, and we look to see where it closed at in September, the last trading day in September, this stock finished out at $11.59. Now today's prices finished at $16.70, and if we take our calculators here and we punch in 16.7 divided by 11.59, which was that closing price at the end of September, just this month alone, you can see that Cleanspark in the month of October, in the first 19 days, is up 44%. 44%. And this is what I wanted to show in this video. I wanted to show why it's so important to be a long-term investor and not focus on the short term. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and subscribe. I'd invite you to do so. You'd help support me and this channel. And we show, as you can tell, every single position. We disclose all moves that we make, buy, sells, anything in between. So check out stuff down below in the description. Subscribe if you haven't already. And let's go ahead and take a look at where I was with the stock just a couple weeks ago. Now, if we go to the very bottom here, from when I bought my shares, let's look in, let's go back to my positions and let's look line by line for everything that I own. And looking at Cleanspark, let's go to purchase history and see, when did I acquire these shares? Well, it was August 6th at $13.25 a share. Let's go to August 6th. So right here is August 6th, right on this day. And at one point, the stock downtrended heavily, going down to about 10 bucks a share. And if you look at one point throughout the stock, you take the price that it was at its rock bottom and divide that what I invested in, at one point, I was actually down on this stock 21.5%. And once again, this shows exactly why it's so important to hold long term. Getting your emotions involved in short-term price movements, I could have easily looked and said, oh my gosh, I'm down 20% of my investment in Cleanspark. Is it time to sell out the company? Have they made a mistake? Have they done something wrong? Not the case whatsoever. I doubled down and held on to my investment, and now not only did I recover all of those losses, we are now up substantially, and I expect this to continue. Now, the company has seen a massive uptick in the price of Bitcoin for the Bitcoins that it's mining, but I don't think that that's really the story here. I think that while Bitcoin price has went up in value, and that is really important for this company, I don't think it really matters so much whether Bitcoin is 30,000 or 40 or 50. The higher the better, of course. But here's exactly why I thought of Cleanspark as being a fantastic company to invest in. Once again, it's not financial advice. Do your own research. This is not a buy recommendation, but this is my reasoning and my belief for educational purposes why I think it was a fantastic company to take advantage of, and I still think it is even at these prices. We jump over to their news tab here, and we look at their operational highlights for the last quarter that they just reported, and they should be giving us an update here in about a month or so we will get updates on this, but I highlighted a paragraph. Cleanspark has over 22,000 of its latest generational Bitmain S19 and S19 Pro mining rigs scheduled to arrive and be installed over the next 12 to 14 months. And the company expects to replace additional orders in the near future to continue growing its mining fleet beyond what it is currently ordered. As a result of these pre-orders, the hash rate is expected to increase to 3.4. For perspective, at current difficulty rates, if the full 3.4 rate of capacity were in place today, it would result in 26 to 28 Bitcoins per day. This capacity, this sentence is key right here, so pay attention to this. This capacity, in turn, would result in 1.2 to 1.3 million Bitcoin per day, or about 446 to 480 million in annualized revenue using a Bitcoin price of 47,000. Now let's go back and look at Webull here. What does Bitcoin trade at currently? Well, right now, Bitcoin trades at 64,000. Now granted, this could go higher, this could go up to 100,000. It could go down back to 30,000. But you get the moral of the story here. You see that at Bitcoin being at 47,000 based off of these estimates, this company is looking at producing $400+ million in revenue, almost $500 million in revenue, and that doesn't even count their energy side of their business, so basically you're looking at about $500 million in revenue. And what's the market cap of Cleanspark? Well, let's go back here and look at Cleanspark. Ticker symbol CLSK stock. Cleanspark stock has a market cap of 600 million, and that's even after this rise upwards. When I was actually buying this at my prices, it was about $483 million market cap, but that's besides the point. This company has a market cap of about 600 million. But they're looking at the end of 2022, they're going to have the capacity to be able to produce a minimum of roughly, you're talking about a $500 million in revenue, maybe more depending on Bitcoin prices. In an absolute best case scenario, if Bitcoin just keeps on just going through the roof, if this company continues to expand its operations, at the end of 2022, you could see this company literally producing maybe even $2+ million a day in revenue, and you're looking at maybe even $1 billion in revenue for the year of 2023. And so that's the thing about this, is that if I just base this company off of what it's doing today, just in 2021, this is a crap company. Wouldn't touch it. But if I'm basing it off of what they're doing in 2022, more importantly, what they're going to do in 2023, 2024, looking out into the future and making a guess and prediction based off of what the management team has said, based on where I think Bitcoin is going and their energy sector in general, I think that it makes for an excellent opportunity for an investment. And the thing is, traditionally speaking, a lot of these Bitcoin mining companies, when Bitcoin is going sky high, like it is right now, the profitability can sometimes be ginormous when the Bitcoin price goes up to 60, 70, 80,000 if it were to break out to these new all-time highs. And it seems like maybe even by the time I finish recording this video, it may even break out to the new all-time high. It's just a couple $100 from that price. You can see the all-time high here is 64,900, and right now we're at 64,054 as of right now, but you get the point. And I just want to go back here to Fidelity, and I want to end on this. When you invest in long-term companies, when you're focused on the short term, anything can happen. And you look, out of my 5 investments, 3 of them are down, okay? You see that Tattooed Chef, we're actually down double digits on. You can see that Chewy, my largest investment, and Corsair Gaming, the 2 that I have the most money in by far, both of those are down. We could get upset about this, we could complain about this, we could, more importantly, we could even sell out for a loss, but that's not what we're doing. When I initially started my investment into Chewy, my first buy that I did was in September for $80 a share roughly. Then I waited a month later, and just the other day, just last week, I doubled down and bought it at 63 a share. And that's the same thing that I'm looking to do with all of my investments. If we pull up Chewy stock here, and you see that I initially was buying it at 80. When I was buying it during this big drop here, $80 a share, and I thought, great, it's a great company. And it dropped all the way down to 60 bucks. I'm not gonna get scared and say, oh, the company's doing horrible. Now's the time to hit the exits. Now's the time to run and get out of the stock. No, that's when I wanna buy more of it. That's when the company has continued to grow, continue to increase profits, except now I'm buying at a better deal. The same thing for Cleanspark. When it goes down in share price, I'm either going to hold and or buy more shares. I'm not interested in selling. You see that the calls that I have sold against this company go in my Fidelity portfolio. The covered calls that I have are expiring in January, so about 3 months from today, and they're at a $30 strike. If this goes to a $30 share price by January, you know, I don't want to sell at 30 to be honest, but at that point, we're looking at over a double up in 5 months. So I wouldn't have a problem with that whatsoever. But stay invested, stay focused, and focus on the long term with your investments, and you're much more likely to succeed. And this is a perfect example of why focusing on day-to-day, week-by-week, month-by-month price fluctuations do not matter, and only sell out when you feel that your investment has succeeded in your original investment thesis. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out stuff down below in the description. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys next time. Say goodbye to Coco.